Peace to the people. 747 24/7 361 degrees. I don't know if y'all can hear me, if somebody's watching or whatever like that. I'm just testing this out. I'm going to be broadcasting back again on YouTube. Um, so I'm just like really like kind of just testing, see if my stream is working a little bit. All right. Shout out to everybody that supports. We about to start doing some real good stuff for the people. We're gonna be excuse me, we're gonna be doing CCNA training for all those that are interested in this. Um wow, let me see if this is working. I really didn't even mean for it to go live, but it's all good. Wow, I am live. Yeah, 1 2, mic check, mic check. Wow, sounds pretty clear. Sounds pretty clear. 1 2, 1 2, 1 2. All right, that's hot. Yeah, I'm just testing this out. I'm gonna be broadcasting back again on YouTube for all the family, and like I said, I'm just trying my hand with this, see if it works. Blow this up a little bit. I'm just trying to make it where as though everybody can see this stuff when we start to have these discussions. I'm gonna make sure everybody is good. It's looking really clear. I'm liking it. It can be better, but it's cool. Uh, so again, thank you for everybody that supports the movement. Um, see if these things work out. Peace to YouTube. I'm definitely making a return to YouTube. All right. Peace to everybody coming in. Hopefully y'all in here. We good. See if I can do it like that. All right. I'm gonna talk about a couple things real quick. I only need about a half an hour of your time. I need about a half an hour of your time, and we're gonna talk about some real good stuff.
So, Hotep, 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 Shalom, Assalamu alaikum, Ucha, salutations to the family. What's up? All right. So, shout out to the turtle people. Peace to the primes. Peace to the turtle people. Put your turtles up. Wherever you at, put your turtles up. All right. Peace to the great owls. Returning here, the great owls. Been seeing that 5-5. You've been seeing actually 25. You've been seeing 25. You've been seeing what is called for the can. Go to the 25th chapter of the Quran. Miss Keisha, study that. What's up, Sister Demetria? There she go. There she go. All right. First of all, let me give honors and praise to the Most High God. All right. I don't know what God you worship. To me, it doesn't matter what God you worship, what name. What matters to me is the number. All right. Everybody should know God's phone number by now, which is number 1. You already know. Number 1. So call it up. Make that phone call to Ascension. All right. So I'm feeling happy. I'm feeling happy. I'm feeling good that I can build with y'all, that we can talk about a couple things. We can I can do a couple readings, and I can just come from my mind. All right, and have a real good discussion. So I was just in North Carolina yesterday. I got to do a couple things in North Carolina that was really good. And I was in Washington, D.C., and I was also in Baltimore yesterday. So peace to everybody that I connected with in those cities. It was definitely a blessing. I was also in Wilmington, Delaware. All right. So y'all know I'm back in New York. Peace, peace, peace. What's going on? What's up, Demoris? Demoris, peace. So we are the Walu. So somebody said, well, what is the Walu? Break that down. The Walu is really divine manifestation. If you ever, excuse me, if you ever hear me say the Walu, I'm saying divine manifestation. Okay? How I feel is this. Any spirituality that anybody here practice, it needs to be upgraded. It needs to be updated. Upgraded and updated. Shout out to Amsterdam in the building. We got everybody along the world. What's up, brother Levi? I see you. We got everybody across the world. Shout out to everybody in China, Ni Hao. Shout out to everybody in Morocco, Indonesia. Yeah, everybody that supports the movement everywhere. I love y'all. Everybody across the United States of America also. I love y'all. Okay? So it is a global movement going on. All right? Where people are becoming conscious and aware of themselves. People are becoming new beings. People are understanding that it is something more. It is something more. Yeah, put your country up. Put your city up. Put your area code up. Let's do this. All right? But people are realizing that it is much more to reality. And whatever that has been held from us, the secrets are actually being revealed. The secrets are actually being revealed. All right? This is what we call the age of information. People call it the age of Aquarius. Okay, cool. But the age of Aquarius essentially represents the age of information. Another 131. Like this, for instance, we say Aquarius is the 11th house, okay? It's the 11th house, but it's the third air sign. So thus, it is a 131 or 311, all right? So 131 essentially represents a higher consciousness. It represents a higher state of your being. It represents you vibrating or you becoming one with yourself, past, present, and future, all three in one. Man, woman, and child, all three in one. Everything essentially coming from one chord. Okay, 131. So 131 is the school of thought that we come into, which is the 13. Now we just came out of the 121, which is the womb. All right, I'm gonna break that down. Now, if you look at Pisces, right, which is the era that we just came out of, which is the Pisces era, Pisces is the 12th sign. Pisces is the 12th sign in the zodiac procession. All right. So now moving from Pisces, we moved on to Aquarius. So now we moved on to the 11th house, but really we move on to the 13th house, because it's like this. If you go into Revelations chapter 12 verse 1, this gives you a breakdown of what I'm talking about with these numbers. All right, you say, well, why is that? Because the number 11 represents the key. It represents the key. You say, well, why is number 11 the key, Lamel? Well, I'm going to give all of y'all some homework right now. Listen, go to the 11th chapter of the Bible. You'll see it's king. And then you go to the 12th chapter of the Bible. You see it's kings. Also, it's kings. All right? So now, as you realize it represents the king and the kingdom, or the king and the queendom, you'll see that both of them are the key to what I'm talking about with these numbers, with the 11th and the 12th, because the 11th and the 12th house. Now, I'm taking y'all from the 11 to the 12, to the 12 to the 11. Watch, listen, just playing with numbers. I'm taking y'all from the 12 to the 11 to the 12, back and forth. I'm taking y'all to that. All right, and then bringing y'all to the 13th grade, back into the first, which is 131. Think about this, right? Okay, in school, you given how many grades? 12 grades. You got kindergarten, so forth, and then you got 1 through 12. All right, so that essentially represents the 13, all right, and then you start over. And then, but essentially, you go through 12 grades. Those 12 grades represent the 12 houses of the zodiac. All right. All around you is the zodiac and its energies. Like, put it this way. Like, if you place yourself in a different position or something like that, if you place yourself in focus in a different position and you know where you are in the zodiac, you actually channeling forces from that position that you channeling. You got to think about it like that, because the rays from the sun, and every star is a sun. Every star is a sun. The rays from the sun is not emitting light at all. It's actually emitting intelligence. It's actually emitting thought. So you thinking that the sun is emitting light? No, it's actually emitting thought. All right, and you're interpreting it as light and assimilating the light into your mind to transmit it as thought. All right. So, yeah, if you think about it, I tell people this, right? I break this down. It's called cognitive imitation. All right. It's called really social cognitive imitation. Now, listen where I'm coming from on this with this social cognitive imitation. All right. If you notice across the world, you see the same stories over and over and over again. And you say, well, how these stories keep on popping up? And then if you look in the Bible, right? Or if you look in these holy books, certain holy books, you start saying, well, look, I see myself in this story. I see this stuff happening to me. Oh my, bow, 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 bow. And you start seeing it as a repetitive action over and over again that repeats over and over again. What's happening is it's called a social cognitive imitation. Literally, the sun is emitting thought to everybody. Like the universe is emitting thought. So what happens is it becomes a social cognitive imitation because people interpret the thought how they feel the thought hits them. All right. And then people connect this with the universe. Now, it's different ways to actually concentrate these forces. It's different ways be in tune with these forces, and that's why I said literally you have to know, literally like a sidereal zodiac. You have to know where you are in the system of the zodiac, because you are receiving the energies from these systems. Now that takes you back to Jupiter, because Jupiter so happens to be what, the fifth planet, right? But Jupiter is the center of our solar system, because why? Its magneto is stronger than that of the sun. So if its magneto is stronger than that of the sun, and then if you think about it like this, Jupiter takes 10 hours to spin on its axis. 10 hours for Jupiter to spin on its axis, right? Just 10 hours. Now it takes us 24 hours to spin on our axis. All right. So thus, Jupiter is creating a magnetic force that's powerful. Now, it's located in a position in our solar system where it can receive the rays of the zodiac 1 year in precession in 12 increments, meaning that it takes 12 years for Jupiter to go around the zodiac, rather than 12 months, like the sun takes 12 months to go around the zodiac. All right, so now you got 12 years. So now you tuned into this. You know what's so deep? Is that you see Jupiter and then Saturn. Saturn is connected with Jupiter in some sort of way, because Saturn connects to Chronos, or chronology. That represents the moon, because Saturn is Lord of the Rings, or Lord of the Moons, because Saturn, they still finding out how many moons Saturn has, but Saturn has the most moons, and Saturn takes about 29.5 years to go around the zodiac. So you say, hold up, that's like the moon on the planet Earth, because the moon on the planet Earth takes about 29.5 days to go around the Earth. So now this is relative to my perspective of reality, because you see in Saturn or Chronos going around, chronology going around the zodiac in 29.5 years. So you utilizing Saturn as your moon, and then you utilizing Jupiter as your center. So now you in tune with different forces. You connecting up with different forces and assimilating these forces in your reality. All right? And that's what it's truly all about. That's what it's truly all about. All right? So peace to everybody that's in. What's up? Shout out to Sister Asia. Shout out to Emma Reg. What's up? Shout out to Sister Adrian. Shout out to Aleph. What up? Shout out to Carrie. What's up, Wade? Peace. Shout out to Sister Courtney. Shout out to Neff. Anybody in here? Shout out to Verdi. What's up? Peace to everybody. But you already know. What's up, Natasha? Shout out to Natasha. All right. But like I said, when you look at the stars, you gotta see it as your center, because that's what the turtle represents. Right? If you look at the turtle, the turtle represents 13. The turtle gives you a map of the universe. And literally, God gives you a map of the planet. You say, really? How does God give me a map of the planet? Because if you ever lost, let's say if you lost, and if you don't know where you going, all you have to do is this. Let's say, like, for real. We'll break it down. Let's say if you lost, right? It's only one real thing that you got to do if you get lost. You just get on your knees. You feel me? Now, if you get on your knees, what you realize is this. You already know where north, east, south, and west is. Ain't that deep? It's like, that's why I said, man, the universe always gave you something to find yourself home. Always know where home is. If you think about it like that, you say, really, like if you lost in the forest, and then you say, well, dang, I don't know how to get myself home. Only thing you do is just get on your knees, and then you know where north, east, south, and west is. Real simple. You crouch like the Parudi, or you crouch like the like what you call the Sphinx. You crouch like it, all right, and you become the Messiah. Because if you think about it, the Sphinx has the paws of a lamb. It has wings. It used to have wings, right? And then it got the body of a lion and the face of a man or a woman. So therefore, the Sphinx represents who? The Messiah. It represents you. If you want to break that down, it represents you, who you are, and then how everything, how it's all set up. So principle of yourself. Everything is yourself. It's the archetype mind. This is what's becoming. This is what people are realizing what's going on today. Like Obatala, Oshun, Ogun, different deities that you refer as deities that are ancestors of ours. All right, literally Horus, you know, Tahuti, Nephthys, you know, Neptut, Taweret, Ta, you know, even Samson, Yeshua. All these are archetype minds. These are archetype minds. This is something I want y'all to learn about, you know, and then in the, like, people learned this with the with like tarot cards and stuff, with the archetype mind. How each card literally represents almost like an archetype mind. A mind that can tap in from the universal principle into the principle to this physical reality. And they call this literally like a noctating membrane. You say, really? What are you talking about? It's like a noctating membrane. If you think about it, like some animals have a noctating membrane, like the rabbit, like the crocodile, like the eagle, and it's a lot of other animals that have noctating membranes. And you say, really? Well, each, it's like an extra eyelid. A noctating membrane is an extra eyelid. And then what you got to understand is that you can develop a noctating membrane in a reality that you live in right now. How is that? Because it's almost like you got your sunglasses on, but you got another type of glasses on where you seeing reality from a whole nother perspective. All right, and it's ways to develop a noctating membrane. You say, how you do that, Lamel? You have to fast your eyes. You have to close your eyes. You have to focus. You have to go in here, to go in so you can be able to see in the darkness as well as the light. All right. You say, well, how is that, Lamel? How am I supposed to see in the darkness as well as the light? Because a lot of people, they're not really using their mind when they're in reality. They're just in reality like this. And therefore, you can't program or control it. Okay, question. Why do you say that? I'm going to tell you. For instance, if you look at the planet, you should know every degree of the planet is like roughly 69 miles. Okay, so if you travel 69 miles, you travel 69 degrees. I mean, on 1 degree, if you travel 69 miles. So if I ask you, well, where are you from me? You say, man, I'm due north this way. I'm due north this way. I can picture where you at on the planet in my mind by longitude and latitude, because I know every 69 miles is basically a degree on the planet. So I'm thinking about it like that. And then I consider myself the 0 point just as well as you consider yourself the 0 point. So thus I can always meet you at your 0 point and you can meet me at my 0 point. Using your mind, using your mind. We should be able to play chess without a chessboard. For anybody that played chess, yeah, I'm telling you how to develop a noctating membrane right now. For a human noctating membrane, this is how you do it. Like, let's say if anybody want to play chess with me, let's play chess in the mind right now. Let's not play chess on a chessboard. I'm done with playing chess on a chessboard. I'm playing chess in my mind. I'll move my pawn to A to to E 4. Anybody else can make a move if you want. You can make your move if you want. I move my pawn to e4 and we can play chess in the mind right now. It's only 64 shades, so you can just put it in your mind. We're going to do it like that. We ain't even going to do no more chessboards. We ain't doing no more chessboards. We playing chess with the mind. You know, it's 64 shades. Look at this. You put A through H, boom. A through H, bam. And then you 1 through 8. 1 through 8 is the other one. So you think about it. It's like this, right? A through H, and 1 through 8 is 64 shades. Let's go. We gonna play chess like that in the mind. We ain't doing it like that. That's why I say we gonna take it up to the next level. We taking it up to the next level. All right? Where we start to become masters. We start to become real masters of the mind. All right? And develop a noctating membrane. All right? That's one way to develop that, where you start utilizing your mind. But this is why I was telling y'all that, you know, anybody want to make a move, go ahead. You can go pick up your board, pick up your chessboard. You want to pick up your chessboard, you already know. I'm white right now. I'm moving white. Since I moved first, I moved to E4. I moved my pawn to E4. All right? We're going to do it like that. That's how we're going to play chess. But you got to kind of, you know, one way I'm going to show you an exercise to develop a noctating membrane. It's like this. Let's say if you should take, and this not for everybody. This not for everybody. If you're not trying to become a Messiah, sit down. If you're not trying to become a Messiah, sit down, get off my live feed, go over somewhere and go check in somewhere. If you're not becoming a Messiah. All right? Otherwise than that, link up with me, inbox me. You already know what it is. I'm going to show you one way to develop a noctating membrane. Real easy. So let's say you in your house, right? You know what your house looks like. You don't got to use your eyes all the time to move through your house. Why don't you just close your eyes to move you through your house? So let's say if you go like this, like when you look at your house, you picture your house, bam, right? You picture it, and then you go like this. In your mind, you already know where certain things are. You take certain steps, and you can go close your eyes. And that was only what? How many blinks? That was only how many blinks? And you got your eyes closed. And then you can kind of sit down with your eyes closed again, because you already got the place in your mind. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. You got to operate and have a noctating membrane. You don't have it. If you don't have it, you don't have it, but you can develop it. All right? It's easy to develop that, because you see this place in your mind. You don't see it in your you don't see it in your physical eyes. So then you begin to see UV rays and other things like that. You start to see other things. People wonder why you so spiritual, or why you become such a whatever, because it's like you got different type of exercises than people to develop your mind. You got totally different type of exercises to develop your being and what you want to be, which is great. All right? So, yeah. That's all I got. Peace to everybody coming in. Hopefully y'all in here. We good. See if I can do it like that. All right? That in the mind. We ain't doing it like that.
Okay, peace to the people. 747 24/7 361 degrees. Shout out to my 1221s. I love you. You love me. Me is we, of course. I'm happy to be making my return back to YouTube. More or less, this was a test video. In a way, I'm going to be connecting up on YouTube. Peace to everybody that's making the glitch from various different other platforms that I connect with. I appreciate y'all. Um, what we're going to be doing for now on, like, I'm just telling y'all, for anybody that studied the Messiah Code, anybody that studied the lessons of the Codex that I've been sharing with y'all, um, just talking about the bodies and so forth, the 1 through 31 body, and also the upgraded body of the Messiah. Um, I'm gonna bring y'all up with the lessons that we need to learn. And also I just need y'all to know that most of this stuff is going to be IT. The new platform of lessons is going to be centered around information technology. Um, if you follow the Messiah Code movement, the Messiah Code movement is a short name for it. It's actually Messiah Code Spiritual Conscious Evolution for Future Technology. Shout out to the elect, a lady, peace, making a glitch over. But this is called the Messiah Code Spiritual Conscious Evolution for Future Technology. We say Messiah Code for short. All right, we say Messiah Code for short. Um, but my goal in this movement is to bring people up to the age of information. All right. Now, within the age of information, all right, everyone in our movement needs to have a CCNA. They need to have an A plus certification. They need to have a Network Plus certification. These are prerequisites that are going to be designed in the movement. Now, you might say, well, why do we have to have a CCNA, Lamel? Why do we have to have a Network Plus, a A plus, a MCSA? Why do we have to have these things in if we want to be in this particular movement? All right, and why are the lessons centered around um, these particular institutions, these and so forth? And I'm gonna say this: the main reason why, is not only to bring everyone up on the way the world is moving, because if I ask y'all, what is the leading job fields or what's going on, my fault. Yeah, we're gonna be doing it like this. I'm gonna be bringing it back and forth. But when you think about the leading job markets, it's going to be the medical field or IT. So I don't want I really don't want my family or anyone to be lost in the situation at hand. And if you are in this field, you're making $180,000 a year, potentially. All right, having a CCNA, being certified in various different IT fields. All right, so yeah, and not only that, it is a spiritual application to everything that is designed that the computer is designed from. It's designed from really the spiritual person, or a spiritual or a physical trying to be, or doing their best to be spiritual in some form of fashion. So that's something that I want people to get in regards to this, and don't feel like kind of like you on the outskirts, or you kind of unfamiliar with this situation when it comes to the computers, because yeah, it's going to seem like a different language. It's going to seem like a different type of feel, or whatever, or what you've been used to in a religious context. But this has a greater application, because I'm gonna say, it's a such thing of being spiritual, and it's another thing of being um, religious. It's two different things, and sometimes people apply those to the same measure, but they're not the same thing. All right, they're really not. All right, you got people that are religious, and you got people that are spiritual. Thank you. That's what's up. You're in the medical field. That's a good field to be in. All right, those fields are growing, the medical and also information technology. All right, so that's something that I want to get my people on, so we can understand certain things about life in general. All right, another thing that I share with y'all, and we gonna bring this back, and I'm gonna keep it here for a second. We gonna start this off. I share with y'all what is called the 1 through 31. Now, this is very important. Like, I don't know where y'all been at. If y'all been down, y'all been rocking out with me for a little bit. Y'all been doing the thing, and y'all been on the outskirts, seeing how shit would go, see if a brother would be consistent, or the movement would fall, or anything. I don't know what you was doing, but hopefully we can get a lot of people be more operative than speculative in this, and learn more and apply it. That's what it's designed for. Because if you see this body right here, this body has everyone located on the body. Everyone here is located on this body right here. And this is what we call the body of the Messiah. And we all form to create this body. All right? Excuse me. Yeah, let's see if I can do it. Yeah, we all connect together to see if I can do it a little bit better for y'all so I can bring it back and forth. Yeah, all right. But we all come together to make this body or form this body, all right? Now you got various different positions from 1 through 31, all right? From head to toe. From head to toe. Now, each one of us are located on this body. All right. Now, each number is symbolic of something. From 1 through 31. If I ask anyone when they're born, and people, they wonder, well, what is the doctrine of the Messiah code? Well, what do we represent? And essentially, now a lot of people, I'm gonna say this. They get it confused when they approach the situation with who we are as as members of the Messiah Code movement. They get a misconception of what we represent, because they always come with a lot of history. Like, a lot of times people reflect on history and they want to debate history. Oh man, what happened and such happened such and such in history, and people want to debate the existence of various different people in history. And it just becomes an ongoing debate that is never settled. If you notice, they haven't came up with a conclusion of the existence of any of these religious, or whatever you call people, or those people, figuratively speaking, in the Bible or in the Quran. It's like they haven't found grave sites of these people, or they haven't found physical bones or something of these people, and say this is John the Baptist, or this is Abraham, or such and such like that. Okay, now it becomes, like I said, it becomes an ongoing debate of different things. Now, in ancient Egypt, you can find various different pharaohs that existed, and you can find their grave sites of various different people that existed in ancient China, ancient Egypt, and various different places like that. And it doesn't become something that is belief in some form of fashion. But people still romanticize these cultures in some form of fashion to make it into a form of a belief. All right. So now, me bringing people up to what the Messiah Code represents, and essentially me not debating with people engaged in historical context, or in a historical sort of like psychosis because people be stuck in the past rather than focusing on the present. All right, and that's why I say we are the great ones, we are the ancient ones that they're going to uncover 3,000 years. And somebody asked me, well, do somebody asked me on a joint, he said, yo man, do you believe Egypt ruled 3,000 years ago? Or do I believe a society called Egypt, or whatever you want to call it, existed 3,000 years ago? And yeah, I do feel this existed in some form of fashion. I have a feeling that this existed. I'm going to put it that way so people can kind of get where I'm coming from. All right, I have a feeling that this existed. But I'm more focused on the fact that we are the great ones that they're going to uncover 3,000 years ago, 3,000 years from now, rather than focus on the fact that it's a debatable topic of whether these people ruled or who ruled or whatever ruled and we ruled. Nah, let's rule now then. We still ruling. Let's rule now then. If we were great then, well, let's be great now. That's my point. Like, people will constantly go over topics of slavery, go over topics of I can talk about the transatlantic slavery that happened, the sub-Saharan slavery that happened, and many other slaveries that happened, how people were enslaved in different wars and different things, and how people suppressed different other people. But my point is, where do we stand at in this day and time, and what can we learn from the greatness that we bring to the table? All right, so thus you got 31 flavors on this body right here. 31 flavors. So the 31 flavors represent everyone's birthday, or what we call a log date, essentially, because you don't have what is called a birthday. You don't have a birthday. Nobody really knows when your birthday is. Think about it. When does birth happen? It doesn't. Only thing that really happens is growth in some form of fashion. You know what I'm saying? It's a way that a cell or some form of molecules or cells grow. It's not no birth. They connect with something and then they start to grow. When does actual birth take place? It takes place in the bosom of what we call, or what we consider to be, the source. That's when birth truly takes place. All right? That's when birth truly takes place. All right? It takes place in the bosom of the source. Now, people ask me, well, what the freak is the source? All right? Well, the source so happens to be this. If you think about the water, right? Like the rivers of a water, or the rain that comes from a cloud, right? And you think about, well, what is the source of these things? They flow in a sequence. They flow in a cycle where one goes up and the other goes down. All right? My fault. I'm putting something in the comment section. Yeah, but you see, it's something that goes up and something that goes down. And this is a replication of what the source that I'm talking about is. All right. So when you think about these numbers that flow from 1 through 31, all right, everyone here, essentially, we say a birth date. Again, it's not a birth date, it's called a log date. How you log in space and time. That's what it is. All right. And then those are the numbers that flow through 1 through 31. Now the 12, I broke down the 12. The 12 represent the 12 as in the watchers, the 12 houses. All right. But the assimilation of that on the earth is the 1 through 31. All right. So now that breaks it down if you go into Revelations chapter 12, verse 1, which essentially represents the 12 constellations of the zodiac. All right. So that's another thing that I connect up, or as a part of the movement, and just understanding the relationship of numbers and the personality and the spirit of numbers. You can connect all these things up real easy. All right. So the number 12 is the what we call room 112, where all the player haters dwell, or essentially room 112 is the house of Pisces, or where we came from, which was the sacred fish, all right, or the Quraysh, the sacred fish that we came from, all right, which was also became the sacred mother, all right, that came from the waters. Now you say, for real? Yeah, the sacred mother that came from the waters. She was known as a pygmy, or known as Lucy, where she stood 4 feet tall. But these are the people that evolved from the waters also, and with their symbol, their sacred symbol being that of noon. Noon. Now, what is noon? Noon is the symbol when you look at water, when you see the rigid lines of water, and that is the time in the return of noon, what we're living in today, which we call Ta Noon, the age of information. All right. So, breaking this stuff down, when you look at 1 through 31, like I said, essentially everybody here essentially is located on this body. All right. So, one representing Harukmit, two representing Azuf self, three representing Bab. All right, which so happens to be the contemplative door. Four is Naju, successful outcome. Five, Batul, which is baby hero. Six is Fatu, which is, and all of these guard a certain position of the body. And you got to see what position you guard on this particular body that we form. All right. So, again, you get Fatu representing the gift and the curse, which is the right hand. Think about all this stuff. Seven being the forearm of a man. The seven. Wow. Eight being the median cubital vein. All right, which is El Matur. Now, seven is Mujahud. Six is Fatu, which is the gift and the curse. Eight is Matur, which what we call the hourglass, or also called rain. Rain, as above and so below, which is number 8. Faru, which is the number 9. Now, these are lessons that I hope people have been studying. If you got your books and you have been applying the measure of what the codex says. Now, boom, you go to number 10. Number 10 represents Saphir. Saphir. And what is Saphir? Or what we call El Hayu, the sacred breath. All right, which is the number 10. And then you got the number 11. All right, now all of these, we should be teaching the children the square frequency of these numbers. Because as I'm going up each number, right? Real talk, it is a square frequency of each number. And these are the things, and this is how you know that this is divine revelation. If you look at the body is balanced. Negative, positive, positive, negative, negative, positive, positive, negative. Look at the charges all the way up the body. Look at the charges all the way up the body of the Messiah, yo. Like, this is real stuff. And this is why I said, people, please pay attention to the lessons so y'all can learn everything that y'all need to know. And I know it's good that people reflect upon the past, but I want people to reflect upon the greatness of the now. Reflect. Look, listen, man. Reflect upon the greatness of the now. Real simple. Real simple. My fault. Reflect upon the greatness of now, yo. Real simple. So, back again. I'm going to share this body with y'all. I'm going to share this body and just break it down and how this is going to go. Like, look, listen. The number, and then when you go up, you'll see, look how the body is balanced. Positive, negative, negative, positive. All right, all this stuff, these are charges all the way up the body. These are charges all the way up the body, man. This is something to study because this is also your body. This is the messianic body. This is the body of the Messiah, whether it's a female or a male, or Lamel or a Lamel, a Lamel or a Lamel, or what you call a female or a male. It is the same body. All right? It is the same body. Now look, listen, breaking it down, like I said, You should know the square frequency of each number. All right. Shout out to my nephew Marlon. What's up? I know you getting big. I know you getting big, homie. I know you getting big, man. I gotta teach you some kung fu lessons. We will start some kung fu. All right. We will be starting kung fu lessons only on YouTube. All right. And this will be for all the youngins. If y'all want to put the youngins in the kung fu lessons, we'll do that, Sister Chocolate. All right. That's very important. That's very important. It's very important for everyone to master this body. More or less, forget all the mumbo jumbo what you talking about. Like master these lessons of the codex. You don't like me, you don't care about who I am or what I as a person, or just study these lessons and see how you can apply it to life and say, yo, that's mumbo jumbo. All right, cool. Check this out. Look at this. The number 11 represent El Maluk. Now El Maluk is right there, 121. 121, right? 11 times 11, 121. What I tell you, the king has to flow through the 121, which is the woman. Which is the woman. And then if you go into the 11th chapter of the Bible, you get what? You get kings or you get king. All right, now if you get to the 11th letter of the alphabet, what you get? K, vitamin K. And then you get vitamin K, which is Kaf or K. All right, and which is what we call the 19th element on the periodical table, which flows between the 1 and the 9, which becomes the galactical hero. All right, which is everything that flows between the 1 and the 9. And these are lessons of the kingdom. All right, these are lessons of the kingdom. So just understanding that the king flows from the woman, which is the 121, we apply the measure of the degree. All right. Now, Zaru representing what we call the right collarbone, which is the right end, which is Zaru. Now, Zaru square is 144,000, or what we call 144. All right, which is square of 12. All right, which is the number 12. All right, which is also called El Zaru. Now, El Zaru is very important too. Now, all these things have a degree, have a degree and a personality to them as well. All right? Like Zaru representing the birch tree and so forth. Now, a birch tree is a Betel SEI tree that's prominent here in North America and various other countries of the world. All right. And it's a healing tree that a lot of us should be going to, or a bitter tree that we should be going to, in a sense, to go for healing, especially women with breast cancer. It is a known treatment for breast cancer to utilize the birch tree. All right. Then we got, which is called El Masi, which hits at 169 square. 169 square is the number 13, which is also on the right collarbone, which represents the blue collarbone of the Messiah. All right, the blue collarbone, the collarbone of maritime, the collarbone of maritime, the blue collarbone. All right, which serves as the Zaru, which represents the breast, and then you got El Masi, which represents the sun. All right, or the woman and or what we call the mother and the son. All right. Then you got busting it down, you got the number 14. Now the number 14 guards the torso of the Messiah. It guards the torso of the Messiah. The two dots. It guards time, the heartbeat. The heartbeat and the navel. The navel guard the time. It guards time, the heart, the beat of the heart, and the birth of the navel, what comes from the umbilical cord. So these are things right here for you to understand that these are the lessons, and it is called the MeWe. Now you know the MeWe represents the network, as in the love community of what we represent as a community, and this is our symbol as the community, as far as what we represent, the MeWe. all three in one, man, woman, and child. But this MeWe puts the female at the top, at the crown of it. All right, with the man being the foundation of it, holding it down like Geb, being the foundation, being the earth at this point, or being the foundation of her, uplifting her, and she having the crown. All right, placed on her head as well. This is the MeWe. So these are lessons that you need to know and understand, and you can't be shaken or moved if somebody try to hit you with something. If somebody try to hit you with something of spell and belief, this is not that. This right here is, I let my yeses be my yeses and my no's be my no's. Real simple. All right. So moving forward, yeah, up into the neck, the throat piece, which is the 15, which also represents Saturn. If you look at it, the number 15 obeys the rules of Saturn. If you see it, as in the measure of moons, or if you see the dot in the middle and then you see the rings of Saturn, the ring of Saturn around the dot. Now the number 15 is also connected with Saturn. Also, it connects with the fact that, and you say, for real, yeah, because if you go into the sacred square of Saturn, let me go into the magic square of Saturn. I'll look it up for y'all real quick. Magic square of Saturn. Look, oh man, it can Google real fast. Look at that magic square of Saturn. Let's look at the image of the magic square of Saturn real quick, so we can just understand this and what this is, and we can understand why the number 15 connects up with the throat box of the Messiah. These are lessons that you should know. All right. Now, look at this. If you look at the sacred position of Saturn, you see it, right? You see it. You see everything connecting with Saturn. Everything connecting with Saturn in a certain sort of way. Watch this. I'm going to show you something with this. If you notice, have you noticed or haven't not noticed all the sides equal 15? Look, watch this. All sides equal 15. 15. Right? All sides equal 15, right? Pang. This is something I said. And that's why it's associated with Saturn. Real simple, man. I'm not the only one saying it. I'm Googling it for y'all. I'm Googling this. I'm Googling this. I'm Googling this. You see on the body of the Messiah the number 15, which is 225 square. All right? All right? Which is the highest number, which is 9. Right? Boom. Saturn, which so happens to be the 6th planet, the square frequency of Saturn adds up to 225, which is the reverse of 6. Now, boom. If you notice, like I said right there, the number 15 is associated with dialing out of the matrix. With dialing out of what we consider to be the matrix. All right? The number 15 is dialing out of the matrix. How you get out is through the word or through your throat box. All right? Through your word, and your word is your bond. All right? So these are lessons that I've been sharing for years. Ever since 2017, this information has been revealed to me. I've been sharing it with y'all. All right? So, yeah. And if you notice, you put the number 5 in the middle. You put the number 5 in the middle. Now, boom. Boom. If you also notice that you see all the odd numbers form a cross and all the even numbers form a square. Do y'all not see that? I gotta click on this image real quick. I don't know. But if you notice with Saturn, all the odd numbers with Saturn form a freaking cross, and all the even numbers form a square. That is called magic. That is called a magic square. All right. Now this is the balance of the number. This is the balance of what we call the number, these numbers right here, because you're making all the sides equal one thing. So that's what makes the numbers have balance, and that's what makes it considered to be a magic square. All right, because the numbers have balance, and people figured out, trying to figure out how did they do that. It must be magic for them to do it, and that's why it was considered or called a magic square. All right, but these are the things that I shared with y'all a while ago, and I said, yeah, man, yo, you know, they're lessons that I've been wanting people to be up on, because we need to move towards the future. We need to move towards the future. All right. Number 15. My fault. Number 15 is this. All right, the number 15, I broke down the number 15. My fault, y'all. I broke down the number 15 connecting with Saturn. All right, and we'll go up to the number 16. The number 16 was connected with what we call the surgeon. 16 and 17 was the surgeon and the scientist. All right, the surgeon and the scientist. All right, and the surgeon and the scientist was associated with a form of quarantine, and this is like what we in right now. Like, the pain ran deep with the people so much that God had to send a surgeon, and when he sent a surgeon with what is called a small sword, which was the scalpel, and that was the scalpel of his tongue. All right, it didn't work. So what God had to send was a scientist to upgrade the technology of the people. All right, to deal with the pain and also deal with the devil at hand that they could not get rid of. So they had to get their technology upgraded more or less to suppress it. All right, so that goes hand in hand with 16 and 17, and which is what we call the root. The root. Now 17 being surgeon. I mean 17 being the scientist, and 16 being the surgeon. All right. Moving forward, 18 being the roots or the wraith. The roots or the wraith. All right, the number 18. Okay. Moving forward, yeah, my fault, y'all, cause I gotta get ready to go. I gotta make a run. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let the channel go. I'm not gonna get off the channel. I'm just let it go. I got something that I'm put in, and I'm gonna just come back live. Come back live on this. All right, but I'm gonna share certain lessons that people should be up on. All right, it might be a little choppy. It might come in. I got y'all.
Peace to everybody coming in. Hopefully y'all in here. We good. See if I can do it like that. Alright. I'm going to talk about a couple things real quick. I only need about a half an hour of your time. I need What's up? Peace to the family. Let me do these invites. I love y'all. Da-dom, 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 da-dom. Peace to everybody that's up right now. I already know life can be draining sometimes. So peace to you if you up.
I told people, I said, man, you on a long walk on a short path, but literally, it's almost like a marathon. This journey that God got you on, it's a marathon. So peace to everybody that's up right now, putting in this work. Peace to you and yours. We operating from the body of the Messiah. Peace to all the Messiahs. Kum, 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 kum. Yeah, that means come home. What's up, Miss Lynette? I see you in here. What's up, Miss Brittany? I see you back. What's up, Brother Joe? Peace, King. Can I get a share? Can I get a share? Let's go. We operating from the body of the Messiah. 131. Everybody here is born between those numbers. That's the Alpha and Omega. Let's go. Peace to the kings. Peace to the queens. Peace to the emperors. Peace to the empresses. Peace to the gods. Peace to the goddesses. And peace to the primes. Let's go, Messiahs. All my Messiahs in here. Let's go. Let me do these invites. I'm feeling kind of epic right now. I'm feeling kind of epic right now. I feel like somebody passed me the baton. I think it's the elders. The doorways to Shale, or El, the elders. What up? Let's go. Let's go. Get your ass up. We clocked in at 11:41. 1:41 on the clock. What up? What up? He said, man, Lamel, it's too late. I gotta cut my volume down on you. I gotta cut my volume down on you, Lamel. Hold up. You wilding out too much. It's too late for all that. I love y'all, man. What's up? What's up? What's up? Who in here? Peace. What's up, Miss Shelly? Miss Lisa said, you all right? She said, you all right? So, yeah, I got something for y'all. I got something for y'all. For the comment section. Let me see if I can put it in there. See if it'll let me put something in the comment section. Alright. Yeah. You said, it's been too late. Long ago. What's up? Can I get a share? It's a late night situation. Hopefully you know what that is behind me, and you should have a copy of this hand-drawn in your home. Hanging over your door like Moses and them back in the day. Alright? It's a reason. This the age of information. We in the new age of what we call information, right? And so I'm gonna break a couple codes down, and I'll put it in the comment section for the people. Hopefully it'll let me do it. Alrighty. I think so. Let me do a 151 first. Let me do a 151. Shout out to all my 151s that know the 511. That know the 151. So I told people, I said, man, we picking up weapons, right? We warriors, we in God's army. Whatever you want to call that you worship, we warriors, we in God's army. So we picking up weapons. All right. So I broke something down in reference to the 151. I said, man, you got 5 forms of magic. All 5 are 1 when it comes to the 151. And I said it. I just used the scripture. I used the code to break these things down. Right? So I said you got white magic, you got black magic, you got sorcery, divination, and then the last one so happens to be love, and all these bow down to love. And that's the 151. All right. So thank you, Miss Lisa, for the share. Can somebody else share this video? Please share the video. Please share the video. I appreciate it. Okay. So it says, a soft answer turneth away wrath. Right? But grievous words stir up anger. You know, a lot of times people, you know, I know it's hard. When you in the battle, I told people, now we talking about weapons, right? I told people it's 5 weapons that God really bless you with besides armor. Can I get a share? What's up? It's 5 weapons that God bless you with besides armor. Besides armor. It's 5 weapons that God has blessed you with. And you might want to know what these weapons are. So, if you don't know, take notes and write it down. If you're not writing it down, share the video. Share the video. Just like I'm sharing the video right now with this other phone. Alright? So, yeah, this is the body of the Messiah. Alright? That's it. That's the armor. Put on the whole armor of God. Whole armor. All these pieces you putting together. Alright? So, now what goes so deep about it is this. You got 5 weapons as being a warrior in God's army. You say, well, what God, Lamel? I don't know what God you represent. Hopefully the universal principle is love. And you're not a sociopath and you know how to connect with a couple people. What's up? What's up, Miss Precious? Lamel is waving at you. What's up, Miss Chanel? Lamel is waving at you. Yeah, then we can talk about some business. All right. So now you in God's army, right? Now that you realize that you in God's army, you say, well, God, I need some weapon. These devils are out here. They crazy, God. These devils out here are crazy. God said, don't worry about it. Miss Gloria, please check your email. See if you got your book, please. And can I get like 10 shares? And if you want to donate to the PayPal, I appreciate that too. I'll send you a book. One of the 5 books that I wrote. Alright, so anyhow, like I said, you in God's army, right? So breaking this stuff down, take notes. Please listen. Take notes on this. Alright? That means you getting information. Now, one of the names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala so happens to be El Sawiru or Musawiru. Alright? We say it like this. Ya Sawiru, Ya Tawalu. That's how we say it. But in Arabia you say Musawiru, or in Hebrew you say Sawur or Sawir. Alright? So now excuse me. Now let me bust this stuff down. For its my fault, I got y'all. So now you think about in reference to Musawiru or El Sawiru or Musawir, and this is all in connection, all right, to why my fault. Let me put this in here real quick.
and then I'll break that down. Cause I always be forgetting to put this in because I just get right to the business. And yeah, my fault. I know it's late night. People like, man, I don't feel like all that. I got you. Let me put that in first, and it'll work. Hopefully, it'll work. I check my email. People keep on saying they don't get their book. I don't understand that. We'll figure that one out. Why you ain't getting your book? Why you ain't get your book? Because I did my best, and I'm doing my best to make sure everybody get their book. All right. So, busting down these 5 forms of magic, right? Just listen. And I said you basically in God's army. So you getting information. Basically you getting information. And information and formation or formation is another name for God, which is El Sawero or Musawero. So when you say like I'm getting formation, I'm getting God to formate me, to form me in some sort of way, or to forge me. You actually taking on a principle of the universe, a greater principle. Now, a lot of people don't know what to call God or whatever like that, but it's various different ways to anchor the master. It's various different ways to anchor the master. So, this is one of them. This is one of them. So you in formation, you getting information, and what you doing is you basically getting molded, and when you in formation, you in God's army, all right? So you are led by 3 principles when you are in formation in God's army, which is the 3 sons of Sam, And the son is connected with basically Psalms chapter 84 verse 11, when God said that he's a mogan or a son and a shield to those that need him or her. All right. So now these are the 3 sons that came down, the 3 sons. All right, the triad sons. All right. Now you might look at these sons as morning sun, high sun, and what's the name, and evening sun, but they're the Sams of sun, the son of Sams. All right, the son of Sam, not the son of Sam that was the killer in New York. I'm talking about the son. Their Samson are literally almost kind of like it. You kind of get where I'm coming from, Samson, because Samson so happens to be one of the 3 elements of God's holy warrior. All right, which is basically you endowed with brute strength, and that's Samson, because he can take on 1,000 people at once, literally. So you're gonna have to take on 1,000 people at once. It's gonna come a time where you're gonna take on 1,000 people at once, and you're gonna be victorious. All right, and then you got another Sam, so happened to be so smart that he studied God's scripture and became the person that put people and made them kings, like how he made Saul a king. He was that that great that he was able to make people kings. He was able to adorn basically ordain people to be kings. He chose that, literally. How great of a man that was, that he can choose people to rule a nation. So he had that much. That's Sam. These are Sams. Now Sema, it means to hear. It means to listen. All right, and I'll bust this stuff down because hopefully y'all listen, because the word Sema means to listen. But this is the same word Samael, which actually the devil stole that name and it became Uncle Sam. Now you say, really, Uncle Sam? Because Uncle Sam were the ones that had the latest weapons. They had the latest weapons. God equipped them with the latest weapons, so they bucking off. So they became Uncle Sam's, literally. Uncle Sam's. They became in Sam's army because they had the latest weapons whatever to handle business. So you had three Sams or three Samsons or three sons of Sam, all right, or Sams of the sun, or whatever you want to call it. All right, like I said, the word Sama means to hear. It just the way that God affectionately you hear it or you listen to God's word. Because even I draw this on here. I'm glad that Facebook allows me to draw. Shout out to Facebook. I love you, Facebook. I love you. All right, so when you actually draw Yahuwah, it actually looks like a body, right? Hold up, man. See if I can do it. Yeah. All right. When you draw Yahuwah, it looks like a body, right? That's Yahuwah. Everybody knows that. All right. So, yeah, it's kind of like that, but and something in there in the middle is called the Wa. All right, it's like the Wa because it's Yah, Hey, Wa, and Hey, right? Yahuwah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So when you look at it, it's like that, but the Wa inside the body of Yahuwah, or what you call Yehayu, which is the ever living, or what you say Jehovah, the Wa inside represents the ear. It represents an ear, to be honest. Let me bust this stuff down. See if I can bust it down a little bit. It looks like this. I know for everybody be like that right Hebrew gonna be like, man, his hay look all crazy. Man, listen. All right, so in the middle of that so happens to be the Wa, and that's Yahayu. Hopefully y'all can transliterate that. So that's Yahayu, right? But Yahayu in the middle of that is the ear. It's like Sama. It's like the listen. You know what I mean? Even though it's Wa, the image is called Wa. Yo, you know they took that same image and made it this. It's so crazy. They made Wa, made it like this: www dot 6666 because they took your hearing. They literally made you deaf, dumb, and blind. But that's called the Wa. That's in Arabic. But in Hebrew, it's the Wa also, and it's like it's the sixth designation in Arabic. All right, but in Hebrew it's different. It has various different designations depending upon what Hebrew you speak. So, but it's still in essence the same. It represents the ear, the Wa. When you draw it as Yahayu, when you literally draw it as Yahayu, it still is the Wa. The Wa inside represents the ear. So I bring this back to talking about Sama meaning to hear. Because it goes so deep because y'all know the devil controls music. Like y'all say, really? Yeah, the devil controls music. That was like, remember they say they have various different tales about the devil, but one of the tales of the devil is that they say that he controls music. He was like God's prettiest angel. It wasn't the fact that it was God's prettiest angel, because you know they associate the devil with the early morning star, the same way that they associate God's son as the early morning star. Now the early morning star so happened to have been Venus. It's nothing but a celestial tale, because Venus rises in the morning like it looks like the sun. It basically sparkles, and basically you looking at the beauty, you might not look at the sun's beauty. So it was a competition. So therefore, like how it was just like I said, it's just a celestial conversation. All right, that's the only thing I can tell you in reference to that. But when you break it down into a biblical sense, or excuse me, in a biblical sense, it's Sama, meaning to hear, meaning that the devil took the music. Of course, the devil took the music because basically it sped up the tones or the vibrations of the planet in order for other creatures or beings to enter in this planet. Now, if you don't got a book by yours truly, inbox me. I'll send you a book, and if you send a contribution, that'd be cool too. I'll still send you the book anyway. All right. Now, for the people that said they don't got their book, we'll work on that until you get it. All right. Until you get it, we're gonna work on that until you get it. All right. Now, let me bust this stuff down. So now that you know that we in God's army, right? Now that I said all that stuff, and some of y'all stuck around for it, and some of y'all fell asleep. All right, I gotta turn on some music or something for y'all. But in essence, you got weapons. All right, you got weapons. Okay. So now you might say, well, Lamel, what kind of weapons I got? I got you. It's easy. You got a sword. God already gave you armor, right? So look. Look, God already gave you armor. It's like you lining up. Oh yeah, because you lining up, because that's the oneness of God. You getting in line on the information highway. All right, and that literally looks like a rope or a cord that you holding upon. So then you in line, since you in line, God said, all right, cool, I lace you up with armor. Boom. No weapon against you shall prosper. Now I'm giving you weapons so you can slay people. So now God equips you with a sword. That's one of the first things God equipped you with. Yeah, but no. The first thing God really equips you with is a rod and a staff before you can get the sword. Say, really? Yeah. I know people are anxious to have the sword because the sword represents a spoken word, and you can just slay the hell out of people because you just know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. But it's deeper than that. You know, I'm gonna tell you how deep it gets, because it's like, now that you know that you got the rod and the staff as your weapons, yeah. Now that you know that you got the rod and the staff as your weapons, before you can get the sword, you're gonna kind of deal how to survive. Because everybody else got swords. They got guns. Bow, bow, bow. And God gave you a rod and a staff. I know you thinking like that. I know a lot of y'all thinking like that. Y'all like, man, what? God, these niggas got swords out here and guns and bombs. For real. I know y'all thinking like that. But it's not even like that, man. You got better weapons than they got, man. Trust me, man. You got so many weapons that are better than what they have. All right, so yeah. So now you got the rod and the staff, and then you might wonder, well, God, what am I gonna do with this rod and staff, man? These dudes got guns and they bucking at me. What am I gonna do with this rod and staff? Well, thy rod and thy staff comfort me. But in essence, the rod is going to chastise you. It's going to get you right when you know you wrong. Yeah, that's what the rod going to do. It's going to get you right when you know you dead wrong. It's going to, you know how a rod, you know, the funny thing about a rod is, a rod got a little hook on it. A rod got a little ass hook on it. It got a little hook. So, anytime you get out of line, look, God hooked that ass back. Like, get your ass back here by your neck. Like, ah!
Get your ass back here. Because you getting out of line. Didn't you line up? You in God's army. You lined it up, right? You lined up. You in God's army. This is an interesting build. Y'all say, Lamel, how you come up with this stuff? I really don't. But in essence, just think about it. You just come out and then all y'all try to get out of line. Acting like y'all don't know. Y'all basically don't know the order of things. Y'all out of order. Out of the order of Melchizedek. In the order, y'all out of order of Melchizedek, of male. Y'all are out of order. So God had a rod right there. Just to pull your ass back by that neck. By your neck. Because... by your neck, not anything else. I know y'all be like, man, God, why you gotta pull me back by my neck like that and just embarrass me in front of all my people? It's like that, God. It's like that. It's really, truly like that. It's like that. God will pull you back by your neck, tell your ass get back in line because you got out of line. For real. And then, like I told people, along the course of your journey, you see so many signs. You say, really? God, show me a sign, please. I'm trying to see. God, show me a sign. And God don't show you the sign that you want. Because, you know what sign God show y'all? Y'all be like, man, God don't show you the sign you want. God show you a stop sign. You be like, fuck! You right, Lamel. You right. God showed me a stop sign before, Lamel. For real. I was like, for real. Everybody be asking for God to show them so many signs. And the best sign that God or the universe ever showed y'all is literally a stop sign. Come on, man. And that's real. That's the only thing I can say. So, that was a real moment. That was a real moment. Real talk. That was a real moment. I ain't gonna hold you. That was a real moment. So now that you know that God equipped you with a rod, you know what the rod is for. Because we in God's army. We in God's army. Shout out to you, Miss Karina. Inbox me. Don't be shy. Inbox me after the video. And if you don't got a book, send a donation. I don't care. Still inbox me, please. I'll send you one of my books. I wrote 5 of them. They're out right now. Listen. Just listen, man. Listen what I'm saying. So now that you know you got the rod, God bless you with the rod. This is one of the many weapons that God will always equip you with. You was equipped with the armor. Y'all all that in a bag of chips, right? Y'all all that in a bag of chips. You got the armor. You got the rod, right? Stop it. Y'all niggas want the sword. Stop it. Y'all niggas just... You not getting no sword yet. All y'all people want the sword. You not getting the sword yet. You just want to come in this dojo to kill people. You just want to slay people. Get out of here. We gonna make you a maintenance man. We gonna make you a cook in God's army. We gonna make you a cook in God's army. Cause you just want to kill stuff. We'll put you in the kitchen. In Hell's kitchen. Alrighty. Thank you, Miss Lynette. Thank you, Miss Lynette, for helping me out in the comment section. Real talk. If you don't have a book, I will send you a book. You know, send a donation, man. It's called a sponsorship. Actually, it's not really a donation. Because I'm going to give you something back in return. I'm not asking you for nothing. Not even a handout.
And that's real talk. I got a book that's 147 pages that took me over 2.5 months to write it. Back to back every day, putting in 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 hours. Leave me alone. Literally, leave me alone. That's what I told God when God left me alone. You say, really? Yeah. When God left me alone and I felt like I was alone, I told people, I turned it into a prophet. I turned straight into a prophet. Shit. Never that. Never that. You was never alone. And the only lone, like literally, like I told people, I said, anytime I felt alone, anytime I felt like God left me alone, it literally inspired me to become a prophet. You say, really? That's what I'm going to do with a loan if somebody loan me something, Lamel. Shout out to Miss Rosemary. I love you. So now we talking about the weapons that you pick up in God's army. Because you getting in line. You getting in line. You getting in line. Oneness. That's one. Because I told you God's phone number is number 1. Is that right? Isn't that right? Tell him, Sister Brittany. Tell him. God's phone number is number 1. Y'all niggas is trying to figure it out. Like, and only thing you gotta do is push one number, number 1, and say, hello. Yo, I'm ready to put in some work. And that's a fact. And God has, look, what you call the universe literally is ready to employ your ass. Is ready to employ your ass. So let's move forward and let's talk about the weapons that you have when you are in God's army. All right. So yeah, we talked about the rod. The rod is what pulls all y'all little sheepies back in place. Get over here, pulling you by that neck. Get that ass over here. Get back in line with the other, not the sheeps. I'm going to just say with the chosen ones. All right. So now we're going to talk about the staff. Now, it's cool. You know, you say, well, why God give me a staff? Look at this little stick right here, God. Why the hell you just give me this stick? These cats got guns, God. Why the hell you going to give me a stick against these dudes, man? God said, hold up, I got you. Got you. You said, really? You got me, God? Yeah. Oh, y'all being impatient. God gave you a staff. That staff was more than what you thought it was. Because that staff, it represented people, places, and things, past, present, and future, all connected in one. They was all part of your network. And they was moving at one beat. Because after God gave you the rod, you learned how to get in beat yourself. So you was able to get others back in beat. So you daggone right, God gave you a staff. God said, you know what? You got it together. You know, I tried to teach you a lesson. I grabbed your ass by your neck and everything like that. Brought you back. I'm going to just give you the staff. And the staff represented the scepter of leadership. Because the rod is for chastisement. But the staff is for leadership. Yeah, the staff is for leadership. So that's how deep it goes. So now God made you a leader and made you handle some stuff. And made people follow behind you and gave you a staff. Say, here's the staff. Here go a whole group of people going to rock behind you. Come on. What you going to do? These people believe like you. These people ready to whatever. Let's go. And you got to be a living Sunnah, a living example of God's majesty here on this planet. Real talk. These eyes always looking at you everywhere. You got to be a living example of God's majesty here on this planet. So yeah, you was given the staff. You say, yeah, I'm quit. I'm ready to rock. I'm ready to kick some butt, God. Now that I know that these weapons are good. Now that I know that these weapons are good, I'm ready for your sword, God. Give me your sword. God said, hold the hell up. The universe said, literally, I'm just telling you, for all y'all rushing for the sword, because y'all was like, I'm ready for the sword. I'm ready to slay people now. Universe said, hold up. I told you, man, you just want to kill people. So now the universe bless you with an arrow. You said, what the fuck is something to do with this arrow? You said, man, God, what am I going to do with this freaking arrow? I told you, you in God's army, right? Inbox me after the video. If you can, please support. Please send a donation. I'll send you one of my books. All right? Please. For real. I'll send you something. I won't send you nothing. I'll send you something. All right? So like I said, now you got the arrow, right? You got the arrow. You trying to figure this out. Now you was smart because you got the the rod and the staff. You was rocking out. You was cool and everything. You was ready for the sword because it's all shiny and everything like that. But God gave you an arrow. He didn't even give you the bow. Say, hold the freak up. I'm not giving you the bow. And then he gave you the arrow. So the arrow, what's so significant about the arrow is, all right, it had the feather on it, right? At the end of the arrow, literally, let's say you had the arrow, right, which had the point on it, but at the end of it, you had a little feather at the end of the arrow, all right? You might be like, yeah, really? Yeah, you had the point and you had the feather at the end of the arrow. Because the arrow, what the arrow was for, real talk, the arrow became your pen. You realize that. You realize God said, oh, really? Oh, I gave you the staff and I gave you the bow, the staff. I gave you the staff and I gave you the rod and the staff. Yeah, you cool. But let me give you this arrow right here. Listen, yeah, you use the feather to steer your arrow straight. Schwap. That's how you steer your arrow straight, because you use the feather on the end of it. If you a Native American, you know that. Shout out to my Tuwalu tribe. All right, so yeah, God gave you the arrow. So now that you got the arrow, you like, oh, I know what this arrow is for. And you start dipping it in ink and you start writing down God's word. You start writing down God's word. Like, oh man, let me write down God's word. Every way that God connects with me, literally every way God connects with me, I'm going to write it down. I'm going to just write it down, because that was your arrow. And guess what? What I tell you, they put feathers on the end of arrows. Why? So they can steer them straight. And you know feathers used to be pins. So the book, God's word or God's book, steered you straight, because you start looking back on your actions and stuff that you did. You start writing a diary, things that you did, things that you regretted, and all upon your experience. And you literally created a biblos, a sacred record, a kasha record. And a kasha record, you literally created it, because now you got God's arrow. You said, ooh, I'm ready. You said, I'm ready. You got...
All right. Peace to the family. 747 24/7 361 degrees. Shout out to my 1221s. I love you. You love me. Me it's we. All right. So now I've been running these videos back a little bit. I've been running these videos back a little bit, and I've been wanting to go over a little bit of lessons that I've been sharing for so long. A lot of times I review these things and I say these things in other broadcasts. I say these same messages in other broadcasts, so people can understand or kind of get where I'm coming from, or what this represents as a movement, in general. So I ended the lesson off. We was talking about the body of the Messiah. All right. We was talking about well, in that particular lesson, I was talking about the 7 weapons of the Messiah. All right. But I'm gonna bring it back to this lesson here that I was talking about earlier, which is the body of the Messiah. This is the foundation of more or less the lessons. This is the foundation of all the lessons. They kind of like spring forth from this. Now, again, we call it the Messiah Code movement. We call this the Messiah Code movement. But I'd rather call it, that's short. That's a paraphrase for what this movement is called. It is Messiah Code Spiritual Conscious Evolution for Future Technology. All right. So, again, I want to finish these lessons, and what I'm gonna do is after I share these lessons, I'm gonna move forward and I'm gonna share some other stuff with y'all from the CCNA. All right, various different networking principles that we should understand, and I'm gonna talk about how these things connect up with what we call the body of the Messiah. The same thing is, if you look at the IPV version 4, if you look at the IPV version 4, it almost resembles that of the body of the Messiah. If you look at every network, every subnet mask is basically the same thing. Only number that you don't see on here really is the bottom number, which is 0. All right. So essentially, if you look at an IPv version 4, all the bits add up to 32. It's 32 bits in an IPv4. All right, with 3 dots, separating each octet. So at the top of the body of the Messiah is 3 dots, which what we call the feminine principle or the female Messiah. All right. So the 3 dots essentially connect up with the network. Now, the network, again, is the letter N, or what we call the heart and the navel. All right? So, like, all these things are relevant. And then what was so interesting is, it's like when I go over these lessons, I'll be like, sometimes when I be going over these lessons, I'll be like, whoa. Yo, it'd be like bombs. I be dropping so many bombs. And then when I just review it in my mind, I just be like, wow. Just like from right now, I did that broadcast 2 years ago. So I'm like, damn, I'm thinking about it like, hold up. And I was breaking down www, right? And I said, man, how the Wah of Yahuwah sits at the heart, right? And then I said, man, they use the Wah because they changed the Wah is www as in wah 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 wah, right? But if you think about it, right, they place the Wah at the heart of Yahuwah, which is what you really hear in your heart. But if you notice, each like a IPv version 4 is 32 bits. It's like that of a music. It's like music. It's like four measures in music. So it's almost the same thing. It's like it connects up. Why they would use the letter Y or www, and they say World Wide Web, but they utilize the letter W, which is the letter Y, which represents the ear, which is symbolic of the ear. And I'm saying, damn. And you utilized, basically, that was the first. You don't utilize it now, but you know that's how you connect up with a network or listen into a network with www. Excuse me. So I'm just it just blowing my mind. Just reviewing the lessons and just looking at it. So now going back to what I was talking about with the body of the Messiah. You got 31 different uh 31 different, you know, what we call consider to be hieroglyphic symbols. You might say, how do you consider these images to be hieroglyphic symbols, Lamel? How do you consider these images to be hieroglyphic symbols? All right, so the meaning of hieroglyphic is sacred writing. So is this not sacred writing? You might not know the meaning of these letters right here, so it's considered to be sacred writing. All right, so I don't, what I mean. That's why I tell people. I say we are the ancient artifacts that they're going to uncover so many thousand years from now, because they might try to figure out, they might try to decode what this sacred writing is. And I've been sharing it with you on the network. I've been sharing with you the code of what all these things represent. Now, those people of the future, it is in my thoughts that that the people of the future are going to take this to a whole nother level, surpass what we're taking it now, because you know it's nothing constant but growth. All right, it's nothing constant but growth. All right, so yeah, that's what I think. So going back, I share with y'all. I share with y'all. We was at the number 18. So the number 18 represented root or wraith. All right, now I broke down that very easy with the number 18, because at the 18th letter you get the ra, 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 re. Array. That's the utterance of what Ptah, or what you considered Ta uttered, was Ray, or the sun. All right, which was the soul, which was the basically the manifestation of the soul. So Ta actually being the crown, actually being the mind, or the or what comes from the mind. All right, but what is channeled from the mind is more or less, it comes like what we consider to be the word. All right. So that's all I can kind of connect it with, so people can kind of get it. It'd be like the word, like if you say something, it comes into existence, but it comes from your mind first. But in order for it to come into existence, you kind of like you speak it into existence. You know what I'm saying? And because existence was connected. with a frequency or vibratory and measured. So, moving forward, just moving forward, yo. Um, yeah, that's why the R was connected with the soul, as in Roak or Roak. You feel me? All right. Its square frequency is 324. All right. Moving forward, you got the baby. I mean, the galactical hero, which is the number 19. The number 19, 361 degrees. All right, 361 degrees. The number 19. As you see, as what we consider to be the galactical hero. The galactical hero, which is the number 19. Everything that flows between the 1 and the 9. And if you look at this symbol, right, it almost looks like a pentagram upside down, or what we consider to be like a house. You say, for real? Yeah. Yeah, and this right here connects up the principle of what we call the galactical hero. This connects up the principle. This is like almost like Briff Miller when they call God's covenant almost like a house. So the galactical hero, which is the 1 through 9, everything that flows through the 1 and the 9 is God's house. All right, real simple. It's almost the same thing. So the hero is the Heru, also, or Horus Rising, or what we consider to be the mountainous one. Translation of mountainous one is one who uh, has mountains move with him. So the mountains moves with him. That's the meaning of mountainous one, essentially. Translation of Heru or hero, in its contents of being a galactical hero. All right. Um, Moving forward, you got the hidden one, which is El Amun, which guards the the left bicep of the Messiah. Now the left bicep, we say the reason why El Amun guards the left bicep of the Messiah. If you just kind of look at the image, it shows in detail why. Because when God, or what you consider to be the universe, and I want to make this clear when I say this, I say God sometimes to simplify things, and I say universe to kind of simplify things also. I really don't know the name, but the oneness, or however you want to call it, you can just call it whatever name y'all want to call it. All right, but when it bestows power upon you, when it gives power, what it does is this: it places a book in your hand, a form of study. It places study in your hand. So Amun represents the hidden one, the hidden faith, or that which is hidden. All right, but when you think about it, and you look at this image, which is the number 20 on here, y'all see that, which is the hidden. All right, which is 400 square. It's 400 square. So now, look at this. God, or the universe, places a book in your hand. So, therefore, that's why it guards the biceps of the Messiah, because, or the left bicep, because more or less, it's a calisthenic to have a book in your hand. It's a calisthenic to study. And through that, you can learn the principle of what's hidden within your faith. All right? So, thus, it looks like someone that is crouching. The number 20 looks like somebody that's crouching with a hand in the book that's digging down deep. All right? So all these things are very important. These are lessons of the codex, and you might not know what we represent, or what the core lessons. I'm sharing it with y'all. All right, the core lessons. So if anybody would ask you, you can just refer to this video and go to different points of when I break it down. All right. You got the number 21, which is 441 square. 441 square. Number 21 guards the median cubital vein of what we consider to be the body of the Messiah. All right. Yeah. It guards the median cubital vein of the body of the Messiah, which is the left median cubital vein. The number 8 guards the right median cubital vein, but the number 21 guards the left median cubital vein of the Messiah. All right. Boom. All right. So that's the young man. A lot of times they hit you in this place right here. A lot of times they hit you right here to get blood. This is considered to be the young man or the youth or the young woman also. It applies to, we also call it El Gawul, which is the test of womanhood and manhood. All right. Moving forward. Moving forward. You got the number 22, the number 22 representing the praying mantis. Now the praying mantis, or what we call reoccurring events, or the praying mantra. Remember, 22 is a sacred number, is a very sacred number. It guards the left forearm of the Messiah. All right. This represents reoccurring events, almost like you got two bones in both of these forearms. All right. Essentially, um, that's what it looks like. But the letter is connected with reoccurring events. Just learning the principle of reoccurring events and learning the cycles of things. All right. The number 23, which was the Cyclops. Now the Cyclops is a very important number. This is a sacred number of this image. This is not only like this number 23 is, it's like a key to this image right here. That's why the number 23 is located on the left wrist of the Messiah. And you say, really? Yeah, because the elders put the symbol, or what we consider to be this position of the number 23 on his wrist. The reason why he put it on his wrist, why? So he can control time, yo. And also, um, my fault, yo. Listen, the number 23, you say, wow, the number 23 controls the left wrist. Wow, that's deep. Um, but it controls the wrist. All right. Essentially, it deals with time. All right, the ability to control time. Look at this. when the when the Messiah when the Messiah was set to be born, and you might get spooky with this, but I'm not going to get spooky. A Messiah is a leader or savior of a particular group or cause. When a Messiah was set to be born on this planet, they always sent out some form of way where he couldn't be born or she couldn't be born to do these great things. It's like an oppositional force. All right. So whether you take it to the time where biblical stories, you talk about Herod and them, or Moses or whatever, if you take those stories to be real or not, you know what I'm saying? But you know, you would see, they try to stomp out a Messiah. They try to take him out. All right. So this is what I'm telling y'all that's happening in these days and time. But that what we call the galactical force, or the source, was all wise and we became the Cyclops. All right, which one with his third eye, or her third eye, open. But it's through time, because time and tiempo, or tempo, are synonymous. So you got to be able to control time in some form of fashion, or have control of time in order to execute many plans that are here for you to do on this planet, and to be born on this planet. All right, so time is very important. So that's why it guards the wrist of the Messiah. All right. moving forward. You got the number 24. Y'all see that? The number 24 representing the pyramid builder. Do you see it? Number 24, the pyramid builder. Now you might say, now, if you look at 24, they're variations of each other. Of 6 and 24, they're variations of each other. You got um 3 times 8, and then you got 4 times 6. All right, so they're variations of each other. You know what I'm saying? In connection, but one is positive and the other is negative. All right, for as the pyramid builder. Now, what we call El Fatu, which is the workman's hand, which is the number 6, which is located right on the right hand. That's why most people are right-handed, because it represents the workman's hand of the Messiah, which is also called the gift or the curse, which is El Fatu, because El Fatu represents the tying of a knot. El Fatu represents the tying of a knot. And if you look at the letter 6, and I'm going to say this, and this is real simple, yo. And that's why I said y'all getting lessons here in the Messiah Code. You getting lessons, yo. If you look at the letter 6, it still resembles what the spiritual application, what it is. Look at it. Look at the number 6, yo. The number 6 looks like the tying of a knot. Of the tying of a knot. That's what it looks like you about to tie a knot. That's why it was connected with Fatu, meaning the gift or the curse, because Fatu was also meaning an agreement. An agreement. The gift or the curse, yo. You feel me? So all these things are important lessons to know. Like, dang, like these are important lessons to know what we share here in the Codex. Now you got the other hand, which becomes the pyramid builder, which is the left hand. Now the left hand controls right brain activity, or the left side controls right brain activity. So that's why it's connected with the pyramid builder and becomes another hand. All right. So yeah, that's real deep. And we can elaborate. We can so much elaborate on this, all like real heavy, real heavy. Going down to the number 25. Now all these are positions that guard. Now if you're born on these days, you actually guard a certain position of the body. You say, for real? Yeah. If you're born on these particular days that I'm calling out, you actually rule over that position of the body. All right. Now moving forward, the number 25, which being the left hip, which is more or less like a male hip. It is the male or the masculine hip. Now the masculine hip, more or less it slings to the left like a man. Most people, men swing to the left. Um, far as you already know what I'm talking about. But the women represents the right hip, because if you look at the number 5, you got 5 points to it. Number 25 is a variation of 25, meaning 5 square, but which is 7, all being born is 7. But number 5 represents the 5 points of a woman. All right, connecting up numbers. All right. Um, yeah, number 26, the key maker, representing the thigh, which is on the left thigh of the Messiah. The key maker is on the left thigh of the Messiah. Now, which all these represent letter of the alphabet, which is so happens to be the 26th letter of the alphabet is the letter Z. But let's break this down. Why is 26 associated with the key maker? Does anybody know that follow the movement? Why is 26 associated with the key maker and with the letter Z? All right. But the keys, if you notice right there, the key maker, the keys are the sound of the Z's. All right. It's the sound of the Z's. It's if you notice the vibration of keys sound like the letter Z. Sound like the letter Z. So that in company represents the key maker. Now the key maker, if you notice, everything is shut at the key maker. My fault. My fault. If you look at the like I said, the key maker, the bracket stops. Like the bracket stops at 26. It's like real deep. If you just look at the letter, it just blows my mind when I look at it. The key maker, the bracket stops, and you say, really? Yeah, almost like the bracket stopped with us. You know what I'm saying? With the 26th letter. All right. My fault. See, like the bracket stopped with us at the 26th letter. You know what I'm saying? And also the bracket, it's like if you look at the letter Z, my fault. If you look at the letter Z, the bracket, the far as the key maker, it looks like Hathor because y'all looking at it like this, but y'all not looking at it like this. You can turn that image over. It looks like the horns of Hathor, and I'm like, the horns of Hathor. No wonder it's the key maker because if it's the celestial cow, as in the far as the breast, it representing the celestial cow. It also represents the 26,000 years of procession that we go around the Milky Way. So the Milky Way is connected with the celestial cow as being the key maker of us all. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me. So that's just something I just wanted to share with y'all. You know, a lot of these things link up, man. A lot of these things really link up, and it just blows my mind as I just keep on observing the connections. You know what I'm saying? As I just keep on seeing the connections with it. Um, moving forward, moving forward. You see the Holy Ghost, right? Which is the number 27. So now you like, man, okay. Now you got the keys. You got the keys, which was that created something, right? What had to be breathed into it? A Holy Ghost or a soul or some form, a Holy Ghost. All right. So that in turn came at the number 27. All right. Now this the body coming to life. This is what I'm showing y'all. This is the body coming to life. And then you get the number 28, which represents the SH. Now the number GH with the number 27 or the 27th letter of the alphabet on this body after Z, which is the 26th letter, so happens to be GH. Now, the reason why it's GH, as in Ghaforu, Ghaforu representing the Holy Spirit or the Holy, or the Forgiver or the Spirit of Immunities, but it also represents El Gaforu or Ga, like when a baby is born. So that is you coming after the key maker, being given the keys, being born again, receiving the Holy Ghost, or what we consider to be the Holy Spirit, or however you want to take it. which is charged up positively. All right. Then moving forward, you get the timekeeper, which is what? SH, the letter SH, which represents literally the shell, or what we consider to be the ship, or the shell, the vessel, the SH, the timekeeper, which is the shell, the vessel of the body, which is time, essentially, that comes into the ghost. The ghost comes into the time like an hourglass of time, which is the timekeeper shell, shell, which is SH, which is the 28th letter of the alphabet, all right, which is also connected with the 28th of February, all right, which connects up with shell, all right. Um, then you get uh far as the 28 being the sacred number in that sequence. And then also, if you look at the IPv6, 128 is actually the sacred number in that. So it's also synonymous with the 128-bit system, which meaning 1 through 28. All right. Then you get the secret keeper, which is the 29, all right, which represents ST. All right. So that represents literally stance, or standing, okay, which is the secret keeper. All right. That's why it represents ST, as in the secret. And if you look at it, the letter, if you look at the letter, it resembles somebody with their finger over their mouth, with their finger over their mouth. All right. If you look at the letter, it resembles somebody with their finger over their mouth like that. So, like I said, I'm just busting down. You say it's not a hieroglyphic symbol. Okay. Well, I'm busting down why it is considered to be sacred writing. All right. And this is also, if you did not know, this is the body of the Messiah. All right. So let's move forward. Now, if you notice, we stop because we at the right foot of the Messiah. All right. I mean, my fault. We at the left foot of the Messiah. We started from the right, which is the number one, which is the right foot, and then we ended with the left foot. Now we go on to the number 30 and 31. So 30 and 31 represent the three dots. You got the three dots representing 30, and then you got 31 representing the image right here that kind of looks like a cracked shell, or a cracked egg, like an egg that has been cracked. All right, but it's more deeper than that, because if you look at that image, it has 19 points to it. 19 points to it. It looked like a 131, and you can go try it. You do a 131 like that, it got 19 points. And you're gonna say, why is it a sigil image that equals 19 points? Why? Because it's a sacred. That's the sacredness of it being at the crown. All right, but the 31 representing the head, and the one representing the right foot. So the Messiah was able to lead with the right foot, as well as lead with the head, with the right head, or the physical as well as the spiritual. That's why the one guards the right foot, and then you got the 31, which is the last number, guards the head. You understand? So all this stuff is divine revelation. You say, man, how did you make this stuff up? How did you create all this stuff? How did I create? How did I create all this stuff? How did I do it? That's the question. It's no way that it can be done. And if you can do it, go try it. Make it. You'll probably try to replicate it, but then you'll be doing the same idea that you see right here. So thus you'll be coming up with a bootleg version of this. You come up with your own original idea that's spiritual, that connects up with this, and you consider it to be revelation. That's what I want to know. I want to know if you are here as whatever you are, for the people as whatever. And I'm gonna tell you, A Messiah is a leader or savior of a particular group or cause. Now, what not the people need at this moment? That's the question. People are so religious instead of spiritual. People are more religious than spiritual. Now, me breaking this stuff down is for y'all to get it. It's for y'all really, 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 really to get it. Like, this is unique. This is unique. Who has this? Who has this? And if you got it, go make up your own situation like this. You can't make this up. And neither did I. This is something that is considered to be divine revelation. It just flowed through me. All right? But I did not make this up. It just came. All right? So I explained here how all these things connect up. I explained these things here, how all these things are relative, yo. I explained it, yo. I explained it. Now it continue and continue and continue to explain this stuff. But we gotta move forward to other lessons because y'all gotta be ready for the new body. And I don't even know if I got it up here, if I can find it. But the new body, y'all gotta be prepared for it. See if I can find it. If I can find a new body, do I got it up here? Y'all gotta be prepared. The new body is the secret to all this stuff. You know? But yeah, we gotta move forward. We got other lessons that I need y'all to learn. How, look at this. Check this out. I'm gonna break this stuff down. This is interesting. This is a foundation in which y'all need to learn or know. All right, this is a foundation in which y'all everyone needs to know. Now, everybody, like when we doing this networking thing, all right, and we understanding how from one device talks to the next device. Like this is what I'm going to be sharing with y'all. I'm going to be sharing with y'all how one device communicates with another device. That's what this is all about. What I'm going to be sharing, like when I go into this IT stuff, the foundation of what I'm going to be sharing with y'all, or the premise of thought, is based upon one device communicating with another device. All right. So now, like I said, now we're going to talk about it. We got something that's called IPv4, which is generally used by the public. All right, it takes a protocol which is TCP/IP, TCP and IP. All right, which is transfer control protocol and um, internet protocol. All right, these are like protocols. Now it formed off the DoD model, which originally had basically 4 layers, and then you had the OSI model, which had 7 layers, and then you had um, what you call the TCP/IP model, which has 5 layers. All right, so the TCP/IP model became basically popular because it was just easier to use for everyone. All right, so now you got how this stuff is breaking, how these things are broken down, and how various different devices communicate. All right, they use something called IPv4, but the IPv4, it has a series of basically uh what, 3, 6, 12 numbers. All right, or it can go the highest is 12 numbers. All right, but each of these numbers add up to basically, or when they're separated, they the highest they can add up to is 255. Now 255 is a representation um, of a binary graph or sequence. Like for instance, each number is doubled in they put like they would represent a certain number by how the number is doubled. For instance, in the position of where the number is doubled. Like for instance, like if I gave you a bit and a byte, all right, bit is two numbers, byte is eight numbers, all right. So now you got 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, and 128. That's how it goes. If you add all them numbers up, they add up to 255. That's why if you look at an IP address, it adds up to the highest number it goes to is 255, 255, 255. All right, that's it. All right, now again, they got these things separated by three dots. Now, or these numbers, these 12 numbers, so separated by three dots, or the highest. Now it can be one number in a dot. It don't have to be three numbers in a dot. It can be one number in a dot. But I'm just telling you, the highest amount of numbers it can go to, how many, the amount of digits it can go is 12. The highest amount of digits it can go to is 12. But the highest value them digits can have is 255 between the dots. All right. So that's what I'm sharing with y'all with this. All right. So now we got something called a CIDR, which is classless domain routing. I think it's classless I'll remember it. Classless interconnecting domain routing, something like that. All right, which is CIDR. Basically, like you have an IP address, and then with the IP address, you have something else that kind of like, um, kind of like, makes it have more variations, more or less. Whereas though you can put so many people in like a room, or what you like a virtual room, or what do you want to consider it, or a logical room, you can just put any amount of people in that, and the amount of people based upon the notation. All right, and that's a way to kind of like deal with security issues where you don't want people to get on your Wi-Fi, or you don't want to get people to get on your network. All right, because you might have privy information that you don't want to share with everybody. So now moving forward, you know, um, you gotta kind of like be up on this. You kind of have to be studied up to just kind of get it a little bit. But you got this various different classes. You got A, you got B, and you got C, D, and E. But D and E you don't really use. That comes after 224. All right. But if you think about the value of 255, right, and that was my IP address, and let's pretend my IP address is my phone number, all right, and the highest my first part of my phone number can go to, or any part of my phone number can go to, is 255. So boom, um, let's say you going, how can I explain this? How can I explain this kind of easy so y'all kind of get it real quick? Um, let's do it like this. All right. Now, I wish I can kind of draw it on the screen, but again, breaking it down, you know what I'm saying? Let's say if we got, let's say if we got the CIDR notation, like just breaking it down to the CIDR notation, what I was saying is that you got numbers that flow and they have a class, all right, but you can only go up to 255. So 1 through like 126 would be considered A. All right, and then you got then you got 128 through 191. That would be considered B. All right. Then you got 192 through 224, something like that. I think if I got one of those numbers wrong, pardon me. But those are the close numbers to it if you want to think about it. All right, the ranges, you'll see ranges in between that. All right, and I'll probably bring that up so we'll know the exact number. So I won't be miscuing on that. All right. So yeah, you got 192 through like 224, and that's C. Now, which each one of those you can have more and more and more what is considered to be hosts. All right. Now, the cider notation is what basically allocates that. The cider notation allocates that and makes you know how many hosts that you can get from it. Like for instance, like the cider notation of 30, you only can have two hosts. All right. So now the range is 16, but you got a minus 2. You understand? Because 2 goes for the broadcast, one goes for the broadcast, and one goes for the network. So no matter what, you always got a minus 2, which one for the broadcast and one for the network. All right. So now if you cite like these addresses right here, as we going up 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, you know, all of these essentially represent um like how many hosts you will have in your network. All right, and this is still connected to, like I was saying, the body of the Messiah, because if you look at it, it flows from basically 1 through 32. 1 through 32, and the body of the Messiah flows from 0 through 31, and that would be 32 positions, even though it is 31 numbers that we count, but it's still 32 positions. And that's the same thing for this. All right. So yeah, just breaking this stuff down, um you know, in the IPv4, let me see if I can kind of explain it a little bit better. Um, in the IPv4, again, you have various different CIDR notations, and that would be the amount of hosts you will have on that are available on your network. All right, based upon the CIDR notation. All right, so if it's like 30, if it's 30, you can have two hosts. All right, but the range is 4. If it's 29, you can have 6 hosts. If it's 28, you can have 14 hosts. Um, if it's and then you gotta think about it. But these are the block size, what you consider to be block size. When you say range, it's another term that they use for it, which is block size. Block size. So you can think about that -2 always, because one goes for the network and one goes for the broadcast. All right. So if we're looking at these octets, the reason why it's called an octet, because an octet is relative to music, like an octave, man. And that's why I said it's like beats. If you see it like that, if you look at it like that, it really looks like music. Okay. So yeah, where I want to go with this one. Hopefully I can make this a little bit clearer. I can make people understand this a little bit better. Like binary, like binary chart. Like the binary chart. I'll show you a binary chart, man. This is an important chart to understand. This is the foundation. This is the mother of all this stuff, man. This binary chart. This is what I was talking about. Hopefully this can be a little bit clearer. You know what I'm saying? You see how I was talking about how the numbers they duplicate. They just keep on duplicate, kind of like cells. How cells duplicate and replicate themselves. Yo, look, check this out. Look, 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 20. All these add up to 255. So if they like making an address, it looks in the computer like blop, 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 like 1 plus 4, like 1 plus 2 plus 4, which so happens to be 7. And then you got 128, which, or 1, or 60, 64 and 128 is what? 192. And then you get 192 plus 7. 192 plus 7, this address would be 199. This will be 199 if you look at the binary on here. So if it was an IP address, it would be 199 dot such and such, because this is what's in the octet. This is what's in the octet. All right. Hopefully I got this right. So people, we straight in here. My fault. Y'all feel me? All of this is principle. This is so principle, man. This is all symbolic, man. Like I said, I look at this like music, like a measure in music. Then if you think about how computers, they're based on frequency. If they was not based on uh, even frequencies are music and resonance. They're music. How how it deals with a pulse. The computer has a pulse. It has a battery, or what we call uh, 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 the BIOS and the CMOS. All right, and this, which is a pulse, a battery, like you have, every computer has one. You know what I'm saying? Whereas though it continues a pulse, and the pulse is rhythmic, and you think about it, that deals with music. All right, so that's something I wanted to share with the people, so they'll just get, so y'all get it. Like, this is relative. If y'all trying to run away from the thought of us connecting information technology with a form of spirituality. Now, remember, I'm not religious, and I don't want y'all to form of fashion, but this is gonna get serious, because we about to start studying some stuff that we need to be really on. All right, which is this information technology, this CCNA. All right, I got some stuff where as though um I got question and answers for CCNA that we're about to go over. We're about to start going over real heavy. And this is going to be a course of lessons that we're going to just be going over until each and every one of us have our CCNA, or be a Cisco Certified Network Associate. Now, you might say, I might not want to be that in life, but you need this knowledge, man. This knowledge is very important for our future, okay? So, yeah. This is some heavy stuff a little bit. But if we I'm gonna say this, excuse me. Uh I'm gonna I'm gonna start sharing books with y'all. If y'all want some of these books, all y'all gotta do is email me. I'll send y'all this book via PDF. I'll send you the CCNA book. This is volume 1. It comes in 2 volumes with 49 chapters, which is very hard. But it's not really so hard. It's what I'm thinking. As I'm going along, it's not really so hard. Just mastering this stuff, because you can be a CCNA, you can be various different. There's a CCNA, CCMP, CC some. It's so many versions of this you can be, and mastering this is epic to life. All right, definitely, especially for the future. Okay, so I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna take a break, but when I come back on here, I think that's the next thing we're gonna go over. We're gonna go over CCNA practice exam question and answers. So we're gonna go over that. And we're gonna see where we stand. I know it looks scary. I know it looks scary. But pretty soon it's not gonna be scary. It's not gonna be scary at all. I don't think. It's not gonna be that scary. So yeah. You know what I mean? And then I'll like kind of read it too for y'all. Like which of the following IPv6 address ranges is used for global unicast IPv6 addresses? All right. So answer is A, which is 2002 colons and then slash 3. And then you might say, well, why? All right, a global unicast addresses are in the range of 2000 slash 3. This type of address refers to a single device and it can be routed over the internet. Multicast devices, you know what I'm saying? Multicast addresses are in a range of FF00 slash 8. And then you got link local, which is FEC0 slash 10. And then you got unique local, which is FC00 slash 7. And then a loopback, which is slash 1. All right. Um, Unspecified addresses. This is used when the source IPv6 address is in a packet is not specified. All right, or all 120 bits are set at 0, which is unspecified 0. And then you got uh so, then you got solicited node multicast, which is addresses which are basically FF02 slash 1. All right, cool. We got that. We got it. We got it. I know that might sound like gibberish to you, but study IPv6. Study IPv6, man. Get a little familiar what IPv6 is. You don't got to know it all, but get familiar. They're going to ask you these things on the test. You are working with an enterprise router connecting out to two internet service providers, ISPs. The router has a single link to each ISP. What type of topology is described by this scenario? Wow. Wow. So you are working with an enterprise router connecting with out to two internet service providers. Okay. Wow. This is called, say, single multi homed. So we're going to get right. We're going to get it right. We'll get it right. But yeah, I'm kind of like tired a little bit. I'm going to come back for y'all. I love y'all. This test went pretty good. This is my first broadcast back on YouTube. Thank you for everybody that stick around for me. That stick around was watching. I appreciate y'all. For the length of time that y'all stayed with me. It's really worth something. I appreciate it. Alright? So, Kum, salutations to the primes. Peace to the family. 747 24/7, 360